dump on the things that you like anymore, because just for general purposes. Now, if you want to have a conversation with me, I at least try to constructively criticize the things that I don't like as to why. Like Nickelback, for example, they're just so corny. Like, everything about what they do is just like the ABCs of writing like a fucking stupid cheesy rock song. And like, I mean, yeah, they have a couple songs that can get stuck in your head really easily, but for the most part, it's pandering, and I'm not a big fan of pandering.
Is it actually that simple, or is somebody, I'm not saying you, somebody's irritated that something got so big that they just wasn't a fan of?
I think what's irritating is when something that you think, that you like clearly see through as being like cookie cutter bullshit, turns into this huge cultural phenomenon. To where it's like Nickelback, okay, you can say what you want about Nickelback, but the fact is, it's like, I'm not a fan of Nickelback, but I have a very, very, very staunch opinion on how I feel about the band Nickelback.
It seems like more of a disdain.
I hate that band. I
really
okay, do, but that has to do with my time working.
It's past disdain. It's past loathe. It's hate. It's a full-on hate. Is there anything you hate worse than that?
Corduroy.
See, that's my point. When a person talks about how much they hate something, and this is not against you, this is against a lot of this culture, and I wish somebody was in our chat room right now to just, I don't even want to say argue with me, but just to say, hey, this is why I dislike this so much. Because I go, Nickelback's the worst thing you hate in the world. Yeah. I was like, really? Out of kids starving, diseases, nuclear weapons,
but that now you're exaggerating, like on a huge level. Like for me, like when like I'm talking about Nickelback, I at least try to be somewhat entertaining in my opinion, because people find.
Let me put a pin in that just for a second, because you said you're just trying to be entertaining.
I'm being funny.
Your hatred is almost jovial, if not satirical, for Nickelback.
Right.
Okay. See, and there we go. Nickelback is the greatest band of all time. Just the Onion thinks not the same. What am I saying? I mean,
yeah.
Do I know a couple songs? Yes. Am I going to act like they're my biggest favorite thing? No. Not even close.
Well, once again, and I also ran in metal circles, so if you said anything positive about Nickelback, during the time when they were popular and they were big and they were getting huge, I was, working with a guy on this thing called the Wet TV show, where we went around and like interviewed metal bands and stuff. So I was like hanging around like bands like Dimmu Borgir and Devil Driver and Unearth and
who? I will be honest with you, Gaffney. I'm sure there's somebody listening that totally understands what you're saying. You could have just made 3 damn bands up, and right. I'd have been like, "Yep."
But these are all bands of a very heavy and aggressive nature, right?
Is it like that Swedish or Norway style death metal?
Dimmu Borgir is actually a very popular Norwegian metal band.
I knew it was one of them.
Right.
It's always got to be something.
But we were going around interviewing guys like that and just hanging out at the Muse and going to like shows with bands like Goat Horror and 1349 and God Forbid and the Acacia Strain. Like we were into the dirty scene. So if you were to say anything positive about Nickelback during that time, but I was also a DJ at a strip club, so I was very familiar with Nickelback's music, because Nickelback were the pioneers of what I like to call stripper rock.
Mm-hmm.
like they're kind of like the Bon Jovi of it, while Def Leppard's the Black Sabbath of it. Def Leppard invented stripper rock.
I think they did. That or Winger.
No. It was Def Leppard. Like the first ever stripper rock song is "Pour Some Sugar on Me" because it was written specifically for strippers. So
what about Tina Turner's "Private Dancer"?
Well, that's a song about stripping.
What about Darling Nikki?
Darling Nikki wasn't written specifically for that.
But at least not as a strip club anthem.
It's an anthem. Well, Prince has tons of those.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Pussy Control.
Yeah,
come on.
What was the time? Ugly Lights. Yeah.
So we got some action in the chat room right now.
Yeah.
The exact statement is: I hate that Nickelback exists, and people would rather support them than fixing the problems of the world. Boom.
There.
You've got to support.
That's a valid support. That's a valid response.
And I've got no problem with that because somebody just gave me a reason. That's all I asked for. That's all I asked for is a reason. You tell me I don't like a peanut butter sandwich. I got to ask why. I don't care if you just say, I just don't. Just don't doesn't work for me. By the way, you could find these episodes on wasshow.com. Just a heads up. We're 19 minutes. We're actually almost 20 minutes into the episode. Yes, I have a timer that I have to look at the whole time because we only have 25 minutes left of the show. That's right. We only do a 45-minute show because I don't want to pay extra.
And your attention spans are probably about that long anyway.
3 to 5 minutes, 7 minutes. If you're somebody like my buddy Brandon Adams and like L. Ron Hubbard or the Hubble telescope or Neil deGrasse Tyson or somebody like that's talking, he'll listen to it for hours. Me, 10 minutes. 10 minutes till the graphics. When the graphics stop, I quit. I'm like a kid's book, Give me those 12 pages of pictures, and I'm like, cool, but, I'm like L. Ron Hubbard. I'm talking about Scientology. Hey, Scientology amuses me. I enjoy it.
I had a conversation about that earlier.
Yeah?
I have a very funny thing I say about that now because in terms of all the creation stories, I find theirs to be the most plausible. Because I know Lee, if he's listening, he'll laugh about this one, but I'm a believer in the aliens. Yeah,
I don't see any problem with the belief of aliens.
Right, I'm not like one of those. We'll see. He has this whole funny thing about me because the first time.
Who's he?
Lee. Lee.
Yes,
he's probably listening.
My ex-host, Leroy Diggler. Yes, I love the guy.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'll never say a negative thing about the guy. Right. We went to school together.
Oh no.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. Yeah, we've known each other a long time.
First time I ever hung out with him, they were watching Ancient Aliens over at his house.
Ah, that's a good one.
And Ancient Aliens is a fun show to watch because of the way they theorize about things, to where they make it seem semi-plausible, but for some of it just goes completely overboard.
You know what I call the semi-plausible theory shows? It's pot feeder, man. It's for the fucking stoners.
Oh, yeah.
It really is, because I will find myself 2.5 hours deep into this, like, JFK.
Maybe angels were aliens.
Yeah, maybe angels were aliens, and maybe we actually have a third nipple we have not found yet. Maybe maybe the third nipple is the inside of our belly button. I don't know.
So people with outies are more evolved? Is that what you're saying?
It's quite a possibility, man. It's quite a possibility. I'm not one to discount it whatsoever. But like I said, we are in this total lull of wrestling, and this is where we're going this week. I'm not lying to you. We were gonna do this last week, but Gaffney, you had a bit of a medical issue.
Yeah, I got some teeth removed, like a lot of them.
And I'm sure you probably wouldn't have wanted to hear him drooling all over the microphone.
Oh yeah, no, they gave me Dilaudid this time because I said Percocets made me ornery.
Percocets make me ornery.
I do. They make me highly irritable and ornery. So I had to ix those, and they gave me these dilaudid, which have been just wonderful.
Only at the W.A.S.S show can we talk about the drugs we're prescribed and how we use them.
Well, because you should only use prescription drugs as prescribed.
That's true. Hey, if there's anything wrong in this world, it is prescription pill abuse.
It is.
It's responsible for more deaths than any illegal drug.
And what's really horrible about it is that it comes from, the government. It's government regulated, and it's by far the worst, most horrible, most addictive drugs on the market are prescription drugs.
So do we bring it back to Nixon? Do we bring it back to Johnson? Do we bring it back to an era when they were putting drugs in the urban areas?
Well, that's always an interesting theory to bring up to some people, but I don't know. Like, the evidence does pile up in that direction.
I mean, I can sit talk about this all day, so I'm fine with it. I just wish we had more people in our chat. And hopefully we'll have the call-in line done soon so we can have more people call in. Because, like I said, we're going to talk wrestling. If there's anything going on, the two of us love wrestling.
Unfortunately, nothing's going on right now.
I'm in a damn John Cena shirt. And I'm not a John Cena fan. I like the shirt.
I was going to avoid that.
You were going to avoid it?
I was going to avoid that.
You can't stop me. I'm only stronger.
Right, yep.
I know, right?
You were in your how old?
I'm a 36-year-old male in a John Cena shirt.
Wearing a John Cena shirt.
Yeah.
If I didn't know any better.
I know, right?
I would be looking for your adult.
Hey, I would tell you Brie Mode. I would tell you WWEshop.com. $9.99. Yep.
$9.99.
$9.99. I would tell you. I would tell you. And that's another thing. I want to tell everybody. If you don't already, subscribe to the WWE.com website. They have sales 3 days out of the week. And sometimes the sales are so good, you just got to buy it, even if you're not a fan. Hence why I'm wearing this John Cena shirt. I actually bought this shirt for my brother as a gift for Christmas as a joke. He took all the other shirts that I bought him seriously. He's a huge Seth Rollins fan. I got him a Seth Rollins shirt. Because he's best for business. Mm-hmm. And then I got him a Bella shirt, and then this one. And he left this on purpose. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not touching that." Yeah, he left the damn thing in the plastic wrap. He was like, "I just can't touch Cena."
People and your Cena jokes. I had a buddy right at a show. This is actually a really funny story from beginning to end. Buddy of mine, Ryan, we went to a couple wrestling shows together. He was drunk at a wrestling show, which was not, out of the ordinary for him. He was very, very much enjoyed drinking at the wrestling shows.
You like to imbibe.
He comes back from the booth. He's like, "Patrick, I got you a gift." And he got me a signed copy of The Marine.
Right. With John Cena.
Yes, it's signed by John Cena.
I gotta say that because I'm not sure if everybody knows about the movie The Marine or the fact John Cena was in it. We're not talking The Rock.
Well, I mean, The Marine 4 is getting ready to be released direct to video, starring the Mike, the Miz, Mizman,
and Summer Rae.
Yes.
Who just so happens to have a little storyline going with Damien.
Oh, hey, yeah. They finally decided to pull the trigger on that one. But they're kind of, I don't know, we'll see what they did this week. Last week's Raw was just so,
It like a lot of people talk about, like, the Raw after Mania is awesome. The Raw
the next week is
after Raw after Mania
yeah
is horrible. It's like it goes from best Raw to worst Raw in 7 days.
Also, I want to address this gimmick thing that they're doing with Roman Reigns now. So is he he's just a masochist at this point? He sits in the ring, gets his ass kicked for the next 30 minutes, huh? Is this what we're going to do now? 50 Shades of Reigns?